Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this particular video is going to find you guys in good health. I know most of you guys have been wondering what's really happening to Makwiny. Yesterday I didn't do much, and today it's already late. My boy was involved in some accident, so he broke his hand. Literally, the hand broke, as you can see from the X-ray. It was painful, and it was really painful for him, and even for me watching him crying. But luckily, we took him to the hospital. He was attended to. The hand is now plastered, and that's why there was that delay. I want us to look at Raila Odinga's running mate. And from my own observation, I can easily now conclude that the running mate is narrowing down to three people: Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, or Peter Munya. And I'm not ruling out the possibility of Peter Kenneth, because there is the question as to whether Peter Munya can be chosen as a running mate when he didn't resign as a public servant. So I want to ask you this question, and I want to do this video as in the form of an opinion polling. In your view, who do you think should be Raila Odinga's running mate between these three guys? Just type the name. If it's Kalonzo Musyoka, just type down there Kalonzo Musyoka. If it's Martha Karua, just type down there Martha Karua. And if the individual is Peter Munya, just write Peter Munya. And probably try to justify, because I want to take a bit of the time to go through the comments. Try justify why, for example, if it's Kalonzo Musyoka, you feel that individual should be Kalonzo Musyoka. If it's Peter Munya, why you think Peter Munya. And if it's Martha Karua, why you feel that person is Martha Karua. The choice of the running mate is actually going to make or destroy Raila Odinga. According to sources close to Raila Odinga's campaign secretariat, before Kalonzo Musyoka joined, Raila Odinga had made the choice that his running mate was actually going to come from the larger Mount Kenya region, because he knew that if Kalonzo was not with him, there was no way he was going to get the kind of support from Ukambani. But now with the entry of Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, a lot of things are changing. And Kalonzo Musyoka currently is actually one of the front runners for the position of Raila Odinga's running mate. So who do you think Raila Odinga should appoint? Of course, I've told you that Peter Munya is there, but there's also the question whether he resigned. The other individual is also Martha Karua, who is also projected to be Raila Odinga's running mate. There are so many people who believe that Martha Karua is actually the right person. So for us to understand who can become Raila Odinga's running mate, I'm actually talking of a winning formula. Then there are some three questions or four which we must ask. The first question which we must ask is, between these three individuals, who has the numbers? Who can deliver the numbers? Let us look at Kalonzo Musyoka. Do you think Kalonzo Musyoka can deliver the numbers? Of course, Kalonzo Musyoka can easily deliver the Ukambani votes. But assuming someone from the larger Mount Kenya region is not appointed to the running mate, will Mount Kenya then support Raila Odinga? That's the question. Because the truth of the matter is that if you ask me, in all these three individuals, the person who can easily deliver numbers is Kalonzo Musyoka. For Martha Karua, the votes she will attract can be received even without her support. Peter Munya, you can rely on the Mount Kenya East. Then Martha Karua, the only vote you can bank on is the women. But can you rely on women to vote for a woman? Because generally, women are known to be enemies of their own. So they might not really go for Martha Karua, but they'll go for their tribal chiefs. So when it comes to game of numbers, the person who can easily deliver the numbers to Raila Odinga, in my view, is none other than Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So when it comes to numbers, Stephen he can deliver around 2 million. Then Peter Munya also can deliver numbers. Peter Munya will bring the Meru, and let's talk of the Mount Kenya East. If Peter Munya were to be appointed Raila Odinga's running mate today, I am sure, based on what I've seen, the kind of campaign he's been doing down there, Peter Munya can also deliver Mount Kenya East. And what are the numbers in Mount Kenya East? The numbers in Mount Kenya East are close to 1.6, which is okay for me. And if that appointment of Peter Munya as Raila Odinga's running mate can also increase Raila Odinga's figures in Mount Kenya West, then Peter Munya also stands a chance. But for Karua, I'm only banking on the support from the women folks. So that if Karua were to run today, then women will decide to rally around her, then that will be advantage. But I don't think there's any vote Martha Karua can actually attract to Raila Odinga, which Raila Odinga cannot get himself or cannot get through President Uhuru Kenyatta. So when it comes to numbers, I think Kalonzo and maybe Peter Munya to some extent will easily have the numbers. I'm a bit tired, sorry, from yesterday's and today's. Number two, the second question is, what are they bringing to the table? What value is Kalonzo Musyoka bringing to the table? What value is Martha Karua bringing to the table? What value is Peter Munya bringing to the table? Those are also questions. Take, for example, Martha Karua. What is Martha Karua bringing to the table? In my view, Martha Karua will bring to Raila Odinga what Raila Odinga has been missing: the reform credentials. For those who follow the politics of this country, in 2007, Raila Odinga was projected as change. So, after the handshake, Raila Odinga now was assumed to be pro-system, which is part of the deep state. So Raila Odinga lost some of his reform credentials, and that's why people like Ruto and the rest would easily stand on a podium and lecture Raila Odinga on, for example, matters to do with democracy, something they never fought for. So Martha Karua, in my view, is the right person who can bring that right reform credential to Raila Odinga. So if you have Martha Karua and Raila Odinga's ticket, then you can even face Ruto as a Moi orphan. The only problem is doing that would mean you'll have Raila Odinga will look back, and the first person you'll be seeing there is Gideon Moi. When he turns back, the second person you'll be seeing is Kalonzo Musyoka. Then if he turns on to his right, you will definitely be seeing President Uhuru Kenyatta, who are all Moi orphans. But the truth is, Martha Karua can actually bring to the table that reform credentials, which can then propel Raila Odinga. What value is Kalonzo Musyoka bringing to the table? That's another question. Kalonzo Musyoka, in my view, will bring that NASA perception. Politics is a game of perception. In the last election, it is perceived that Raila Odinga performed so well, almost beating Ruto and Uhuru, and that these guys, the dynamic duo, managed to win because of the deep state or because they were helped. So the fact that Kalonzo was in NASA and then now supporting Raila Odinga, someone can easily say that Raila Odinga's figures in the last election are still intact. If Kalonzo were to leave, then Ukambani votes will leave. So you can't claim that Raila Odinga's figures are not there. Unlike Musalia Mudavadi, you can really question whether Musalia Mudavadi's exit from ODM party will affect Raila Odinga more. So Kalonzo Musyoka will bring that reform credentials. Peter Munya, what value do you think Peter Munya can add? If you ask me, Peter Munya can add the ability to campaign, because a presidential candidate must have the ability and capacity to campaign in the absence of a presidential candidate. I want to take you back to 2002 when Mwai Kibaki was involved in an accident and he couldn't continue with his campaigns. So Raila Odinga had to put on the shoes of Kibaki and assume the role of the captain. And that's why we have the famous, the captain is injured, but the game must go on. So Peter Munya can actually campaign for Raila Odinga, even in his absence. We've seen Peter Munya campaigning vigorously in Mount Kenya East region, successfully attracting huge rallies. So Peter Munya will bring that on the table. I mean, will bring the ability to campaign. Martha Karua will bring the reform credentials. Kalonzo will bring back the memory of NASA and also experience, because Kalonzo Musyoka has been in the game now for a long time. So between those three guys, who do you think will add more value now up to that stage? Reform credentials, NASA experience, and ability to campaign. Who do you think will add more value to Raila Odinga? Number 3 is the question of who can attract the highest funding. 2022 politics is going to be about money. Not just money, we are talking of big monies. Because William Ruto is today conducting UDA nominations across the country, and that exercise is costing him over 700 million. That exercise alone. So which means tomorrow, if, for example, Martha Karua were to be chosen, can Martha Karua attract funding? Of course, there are so many women organizations who will definitely pump money into Martha Karua's potential of becoming the next president. Kalonzo Musyoka, can Kalonzo Musyoka attract funding? Maybe yes. There are people who will now support Raila Odinga because they believe that a combination of Raila and Kalonzo with the support of President Uhuru Kenyatta can easily now guarantee them the victory. So some people can attract that. But at a personal level, I don't think whether Kalonzo Musyoka has that money. The third person is Peter Munya. Do you think Peter Munya can attract funding? Of course, the mountain. Mount Kenya, if they front Munya, they'll pump money on him. And then the fourth question, which is my last question, is normally the question of the political formation. So you will sit down and figure out, Raila Odinga, where is he going to get his votes from? The Kikuyu, the Luo, the Kamba, and the Luya. Then you go and dig deeper and look at all the scenarios. For example, if a running mate from the larger Mount Kenya region is appointed, can Raila Odinga get the Ukambani vote? If Ukambani person is appointed, can he penetrate the mountain? Can Uhuru Kenyatta be used as a bet for Raila Odinga in this election? I don't know what you think, but that's my take and my thought. For those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. To the subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your continued support. Please don't forget to give this video thumbs up. Just click subscribe now. Bye-bye.